really struggled the last couple of days of whether or not to continue my content and putting it out there on YouTube and TikTok. My husband and his family have seen my videos and they don't like them. And I've gotten quite a bit of hate from that. So if you could give me a thumbs up, then that would be amazing on my videos if you like the content that I'm delivering. I want to keep going and keep producing these for you to help people who are going through the same thing as me, and also to hopefully try to prevent other people from experiencing the same thing. So in saying all of that, let's get into today's topic, which is emotional abuse, toxic relationships, and your well-being. Many of us were raised not to quit. We were taught and conditioned from a very young age that if we don't do our best, we have to get up and we have to try again. That's the way I was raised. It was unacceptable just to quit. Maybe, just maybe, because we associate quitting with failure. They are two separate things. If you don't quit sometimes, you are bound to fail. When it comes to toxic relationships, emotional abuse, physical abuse, there is no shame in quitting. Toxic relationships run in cycles. You may not realize what kind of damage is being done until it's too late. They're not always bad to you. A lot of times they treat you really well. They do exceptionally nice things for you, and things will be going completely normal. But toxic people don't like normal. They want chaos. They want chaos. We had been married for 2 years, and I was pregnant with our second child. We had tried for a year to get pregnant with her, and we were so excited that we were having her, and everything was going great in our relationship. Everything was normal. Everything was normal. Some people say, well, you were pregnant, so you probably weren't having sex with him. I got that. But we were still having sex. And one day we were on our way home from church with our 3-year-old daughter in the back seat. And my husband looked at me and he said, I have to tell you something. I had sex with someone at my work. And, I was completely, immediately in shock. I was traumatized. I was hysterical. And we're driving down the road. There's nowhere for me to get out. So I went home and I locked myself in the bathroom. And I became very sick. And my husband at the time, we were going to church, and he went to church and he told the pastor and he told his friends. And, I genuinely thought he was sorry. He was crying. He was apologizing that it would never happen again. And being that this was the first time that he had done anything like that to me, and I had a small child, and I was pregnant, almost 5 months pregnant with my daughter, I didn't know what else to do. I said, okay, I forgive you. The people at my church also kept telling me that the devil wants your relationship. He wants your relationship to fail. Don't let him win. Don't let him win. One of the worst advice I have ever gotten. Some of the worst advice I've definitely ever gotten. So from there, I became extremely depressed, and I did come out of the bathroom, but I was so depressed that I had forgotten how to literally give my 3-year-old a bath. I couldn't function correctly. My brain was completely misfiring. My husband, every day on his way to work, dropped me off at my mom's house so that she could watch me like a little child. But I eventually, I got better, but my pregnancy was not better. The baby was not growing at a normal rate. She was born low birth weight and with a small hole in her heart. After that happened, my husband became the model husband for years at a time, going above and beyond to make me happy. And so I followed suit. I went above and beyond to make him happy. I'm not saying that I was always the perfect wife. I was not perfect. There were things that I contributed that weren't nice. Of course, I could be bitchy at times, and I'm sure hard to live with. But I never cheated, and I did my very, very best to always lift him up and be the best wife that I could be and the best mom that I could be. These cycles will continue until you decide that you've had enough and you leave for good. Or you will continue to let them back in. These cycles will continue over and over again until you become mentally unwell, physically unwell, unable to make rational decisions, lose faith and confidence in yourself and your choices. And then, finally, when you have become a shell of the person that you once were, you will no longer recognize yourself. Sometimes other people won't either. When you become no longer useful to the toxic person, you will be discarded because you are no longer useful to them. The faster you get out of a toxic relationship, the better off you'll be. One of my main problems that I still experience from these toxic cycles is this brain fog that I have. I have a hard time in making these videos, and I'm sure you've noticed that I talk very slowly. I process information very slowly. It's easier for me to sit and write than it is to make these videos, because a lot of times I can't think of the right words. Everything's out of order. I make up words that actually don't exist, like I did on my last video. Just trust me. Get out as soon as you can. My dad used to always ask me, what's the most important thing in life? And I would say, love, Dad, is the most important thing in life. And he would say, no, Jennifer, no, it's not. And I would be like, well, what is it then? And he said, your health. Your health is the most important thing in life, because with your health, you're not able to do anything else. It's so true. It's so true. Probably some of the best advice I've ever gotten. There's good news and bad news. Bad news is, chances are, if you have found your way to my channel, then you're probably in a very dark place. You might be feeling very confused, very alone, very frustrated, very angry. You feel like you're on a roller coaster, and that roller coaster ride won't stop, and there's no way you can control it. The bad news is also that you can't control it. You can only control you. You can control when you can get off that ride. I've heard a lot of people say, I will never be the same after going through this toxic, abusive relationship, and they're still in a really bad place years later. because they've told themselves over and over again that they will never be the same. True. I will agree with the fact that you will never be the same. You will be better. You will be better. And not only will you be better, you will be the best version of yourself. So much love.